Imagine you are a Zepto delivery rider. It's Thursday, a sudden monsoon hits, and you can't deliver. You lose 500 rupees in wages. India's gig economy faces a 5 billion annual problem, the ghost hour. Traditional insurance takes 3 weeks to process and rejects claims on technicalities. With Winkit, you do nothing. Our system detects a hazard, runs a physics-based fraud check, and credits your account instantly. Let's look at the architecture. Now, most InsurTech apps assumes that the user speaks English. We inject dynamic localized string payloads on the fly. The rider selects Hindi and the UI adapts natively without fetching heavy assets. They authenticate via a frictionless super-based OTP flow. Instantly, our API pulls real-time environmental data, temperatures, rain probability, and hyperlocal AQI, updating the UI state asynchronously. We are natively rendering a DECGL instance over an H3 hexagon grid. It maps live geographic risk zones in 3D, pinpointing the rider's exact node. The coverage is automatically initiated. His premium isn't fixed. Our asymptotic pricing engine calculates exact risk based on his historical node data. The smart contract executes. We securely trigger the cash-free payment gateway to lock the 49 rupees premium. The database commits the transaction and the UI reflects the active policy and 800 rupees coverage limit in milliseconds. And how do we prevent spoofing? While the app is open, we silently collect GPS and IMU accelerometer telemetry. This is run on an ML model. We also have the relocation feature which benefits all the parties. But the app is just the presentation layer. 300 million workers don't have smartphones that can render 3D maps. For them, we tap into the exact same backend via WhatsApp. No internet at all, they dial IVR. They press 1 and the policy is active. When disaster strikes, our Python daemon validates the event and fires the cash-free payouts API, routing the money instantly. Full parametric insurance, zero data required. Now let's look at the math that makes Winkit a viable business. We utilize an asymptotic pricing model. As the risk coefficient x approaches infinity during a disaster, the exponential curve flattens, mathematically capping premiums at 49 rupees. Next, to protect our capital pool, we ditched risky lump sums for an hourly drip feed. We calculate our net expected loss by applying a fraud rejection factor or gamma. Thus, we keep our burning cost rate at an optimal 0.61. Finally, we verify claims through sensor fusion. We cross-reference GPS velocity with raw IMU variance and apply an isolation forest ML model. We ensure the system remains solvent and unhackable. Instead of relying on synchronous REST APIs that time out and crash during heavy loads, we built an asynchronous event-driven engine. This is our live DigitalOcean droplet terminal alongside our super-based database. Our containerized Python daemon constantly polls the escrow queue. Watch the logs. A claim drops in, the daemon intercepts it, runs the Fort Fortress physics check in milliseconds, and clears the transaction. The daemon executes the payout logic and immediately commits the auto-paid state back to the superbase. Every single step is tracked in an immutable server-side audit trail. And because our Jetpack Compose frontend is subscribed to Superbase real-time WebSocket, the Riders app updates instantly. No pull to refresh, no loading spinners, just a highly optimized low-latency architecture. Welcome to Winkit, our actuarial command center. All of this live data flows from our Zero Trust mobile frontend. The app acts purely as a sensor with minimum API calls, offloading all heavy risk computations to our secure backend. Up top, we monitor Superbase KPIs, tracking active policies and exact capital our ML model has saved. Our 3D DECGL map visualizes real-time risk, while our fraud detection center streams real live telemetry rejections, providing a full explainable audit trail. Now, what makes our idea special? Most teams use simple circular geofencing. We don't. We built our entire spatial engine on Uber's H3 hexagonal index. Why? Because hexagons avoid the distance distortion of squares and provide uniform adjacency. This allows our risk models to calculate spillover effects between zones with mathematical precision. Next, the traditional insurance pays a risky lump sum. We invented the drip feed payout. If a flood clears in 2 hours, our daemon halts the stream, rescuing the aggregator's remaining capital. We pay for the exact duration of the hazard, not a second more. Third, the relocation engine. We don't just pay people to stay at home, we nudge them to stay safe. If one HC cell is flooded, our backend identifies dry zones with high order volume and pushes a dynamic incentive such that the insurers have to give out relocation cash instead of a full day paycheck. Benefit for